All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a few real people just like you, just like me. All right, I have an announcement to make. I'll make it toward the end of the video, so it'll please watch the video. I'm doing everything I can. And no, I'm not turning comments back on. Sorry. That's the most requested thing in the world. But it's almost as bad. Okay, or good, depending on how you want to look at it. But for me, it's going to be bad. So this is good. This is Eric Lavra, Twilight Dream. Twangin' music. The only song I think that's really on the internet right now is Dream About You. So go check out Dream About You, and then you'll have to reach out to Eric and see if you can get a CD. Dean Castronovo, he's playing drums on this. So it's got to be good. It's not like Journey. It's definitely more like Tom Petty and the Byrds, okay? So Americana, it's good stuff. Also, another American radio station you should check out, Modern Retro Radio, modernretrofm.com, playing the music you don't get to hear by classic artists, you know, a bunch of classic artists like John Mellencamp, who released a song that was, it was different. I want to talk about Mellencamp here because apparently he and his audience had a meltdown in Cleveland last night. It's a very comical article. And keep in mind, this publication is from Cleveland, and they are bashing the people in Cleveland. Remember Cleveland Rocks? Ian Hunter? That great album called You're Never Alone with a Schizophrenic. That's the name of the album by Ian Hunter. And also the theme to the Drew Carey Show. Yeah. And anyway, I could make some comments about Drew Carey, but I decided against it. Anyway, this is the article. It's pretty amazing. So John Mellencamp's audience at the Connor Palace Thursday night, which included the type of loud and buffoonish concert goers for which Cleveland is becoming known, should consider themselves lucky that he finished the show. Oh, man. Now, you'll find out why these buffoonish people may have been acting out. I will wait a little bit to tell you. The singer-songwriter rocker in town for 2 shows at the Playhouse Square for his live and in-person tour, put on a strong performance, even though his vocals don't sound anything like his former self, that featured some of his best-known songs for nearly 2 hours. Yeah, it's a pretty good show. Get your money's worth. I don't know how much they're paying for tickets. I wonder if they would have mentioned the ticket price here, but they didn't. So anyway, it also featured portions that seem designed to prove that he is a serious artist. I don't understand what they mean by that. Is he Beethoven? Is he Tchaikovsky? I mean, what are they? Are they trying to imply because he plays, you know, heartland rock, he's not a serious artist? They say here, though, that he should know he has nothing to prove. I kind of agree with that. I would say vocally he might have something to prove, but they go on to say it all could have easily ended early. Signs, signs, stay 6 feet apart. No, signs posted in the lobby said that this show respects theater etiquette. So we're at a snobby venue with John Mellencamp, the guy who used to go by the name of Little Johnny Cougar. Nothing matters, and what if it did? Anyway, so this show respects theater etiquette. And early on, Mellencamp told the crowd, I don't like people screaming from the effing audience. Oh, so who's the buffoon here? So he's dropping F-bombs, but it's the audience. The audience, they're the ones that are buffoonish. And they printed it here. They actually printed the word F-U-C-K-I-N-G right on their page. It's clevescene.com is where I am reading this. It goes on, unfortunately. Later, as people continued talking, and after a boorish, they just printed the F-bomb, and now they're talking again about a boorish concert goer yelled at him to play the effing music. So yeah, they're equally boorish with the guy on stage when he dared to say something that could be construed as criticizing the United States. He had had enough. Oh, so he got political. And so who is he criticizing? He supported Michael Bloomberg, who endorsed Joe Biden as president. I wonder what he said. Look, the old time 80s Mellencamp fans, they're like, Hurts So Good, Jack and Diane, Small Town. Play the songs that we grew up listening to. Don't get involved in this other stuff. See, Mellencamp, I think I know what they're trying to do here. Because Mellencamp, because he's got all these political views, he's trying to insert those, much like, Roger Waters or maybe Bruce Springsteen. Although I don't even think Bruce is doing this stuff the way he used to. I think he's just playing the songs. It's hard enough just to do that. So Mellencamp is probably talking a lot between the songs. And then we find out he did this 30-minute intro, which isn't explained until the end of the article. All right. So I had to scroll all the way down. Here's what it says. If there were any quibbles, it's that Mellencamp, again, seems hell-bent on proving that he is a serious artist by injecting his neoliberal political views into stuff. His decision to open the show with a 30-minute series of classic movie clips, during which the boos and calls for Mellencamp to take the stage grew louder. Because remember, this was a Cleveland audience. So they're bashing their own town. Okay, this is just a crazy article. So they're boorish, which I haven't seen that word in print for, I don't know, since like Gilligan's Island, maybe? Maybe Thurston Howell talking about the skipper? I don't know. This was an attempt to show some of his inspirations. Okay, so the clips, the movie stuff, he was showing that to show the audience what he likes. Okay, great. I'm thinking that if you've got friends, like John Mellencamp must have a few friends, that he can share those things with his friends. Why is it that important to go 30 minutes deep showing classic movie clips when the people already probably juiced up on $20, hard seltzer or whatever? I don't know, though. That sounds kind of boorish. Maybe it's super fine wine. So I don't know. What do you think a glass of wine goes for at the boorish place to go see a concert? 15, 20 bucks a glass? I'm thinking more like 20, because you can buy a bottle for 20. So you got to make a lot of money. And I'm sure they are, because they're boorish. He also told the audience that he envisioned the show as less of a concert and more of a performance. It showed right down to his decision to play in front of a picture of a set piece from the 1951 film A Streetcar Named Desire. Again, this is the guy who was once known as John Cougar Mellencamp, John Cougar, and early on, Little Johnny Cougar. And I'm thinking people want to hear the music. Just get to the point. We paid money to hear music. They go on here. Sometimes art can be just fun, and Mellencamp's music has long since proved that. It would be nice if he remembered that sometimes. Okay, so they did take a little jab at him at the end, but they're mostly concerned with the audience in Cleveland. I don't know, Cleveland, the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, you can... Maybe they're just mad because they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and they don't put actual rock and roll into the Hall of Fame. Here's the set list, or at least some of it. John Cocker's Paper and Fire, Minutes to Memories, good song. Small Town, Human Wheels, Jackie Brown, check it out. The Eyes of Portland, which is the new song. And by the way, those are all the people who little Johnny Cougar voted for, who created the Eyes of Portland. Longest Days, Jack and Diane acoustic, The Real Life, with Joanne Woodward doing a spoken word recording with live instrumental backing. That would have irritated me. Rain on the Scarecrow, Lonely All Night, What If I Came Knocking, good song. You don't hear that anymore. Crumbling Down, which is a good song. Into Gloria, Pink Houses, Cherry Bomb, and Hurt So Good. So that's the set list. It's not a bad set list. The problem is John doesn't sound like he used to. And, you know, people are paying a lot of money to go see this show. And I think they're expecting music and not 30 minutes of movie clips. Anyway, I thought it was a fun article to cover. The title of this article is John Mellencamp Show at Connor Palace Nearly Derailed by Boorish Audience Members. Boorish. All right, you know what else is boorish? Twitter. Here's my announcement. I'm going to be back on Twitter. And I'm actually there now. If you go look for me, you're probably not going to find me. I will put a link in the description. I'm just dreading this. And then you can go find me. And then let the blocking begin. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, Twitter and Truth Social. Bye-bye, Truth Social. If you're concerned as to why I did that, hit me up on Patreon. In fact, if you want to support the channel, please do that on Patreon. I'm hoping maybe to, you know, if I can keep my sanity, I might be able to monetize over on Twitter. Wouldn't that be fun, right? So I need, I think, 500 followers. That's going to take a while. One more time with Eric Lavra, Twilight Dream. Good old-fashioned twanging music, Americana stuff, and decent vocals, decent guitars, much like John Mellencamp in his heyday. Those boorish heydays. He was boorish back in the 80s, but now he's cultural. He's trying to be serious, and it's just a little too lowbrow for Cleveland, for John Mellencamp to be his old self. So stop talking out there so I can play the music, play that funky music, white boy. All right, I'm done with this video. I'm totally done, and I'll see you soon.